All right, so this is Electrodominance, As Foretold, Living End. We have a bunch of blue and red cycling creatures, and then we have Living End along with As Foretold and Electrodominance kind of cheated out into play. Then we have copies of Tolaria West to find Living End, Ancestral Visions, Tormod's Crypt, Chalice the Void, other various 2-mana tools or 0-mana tools. Let's dive on into our first match here and see how it goes. Bottle Gnomes in the sideboard for your burn and aggro matchups. Is anyone the time before? Is that like the land before time, but for Moto? The time before bots. Oh, you know what? We could do some Legacy. I don't have any other Modern decks put together. Maybe we'll wrap up. I have 2 Legacy decks in the queue that are ready to go, that have a lot of points behind them. One's at 105 and the other's at 94. Yeah, maybe we'll do those to wrap the day up after this league. Pact, Spanish Inquisition, and Mono Blue Wizards. This hand does actual nothing. This hand's fine. Suspends AV on 1. Hopefully it's a matchup where that's good. Random Cycler's probably a keep. Oh, I'm shuffling it away anyway, so it doesn't matter. Spanish Inquisition is a blast to play. It is definitely a Friday night style deck. Razor Verge Thicket, you say? Hey, Devoted Druid deck, maybe? Cycle to start. I cycled before fetching because drawing a red source here means I can fetch a basic island as opposed to a dual. I've been playing so much Modern recently, I need help. What have you been playing, Nox? MTJ is burning me out on Standard. Yeah. Yeah, I like this current Standard format, but like I'm definitely ready for a change, I feel like. Like ready for the next things to shake things up. I was gonna play Vanifier Court tonight. Any last minute advice? Yeah, you're a combo deck first. You're a combo deck first and a value deck second. Should I put this on 1? Maybe I'm just supposed to jam this on 1 here. I don't know what they're doing. This thing's still not off yet. Is it a bad... They kept 7, right? Like, when they didn't do anything on 1, I was like, okay, maybe they're a... Am I getting even mind censored? Is that what's happening? Alright, that makes a lot of sense, I guess. That's brutal. Alright, so they're a taxes deck then. Got it. So getting kind of punished here for not fetching a Steam Vent. Does Hearthstone release more often than every 3 months? So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on 1 because they're probably a Path to Exile deck. SC Giants, thank you for the quarter view. I appreciate that. Welcome back. If I got tired of MTG for the time being, what would I play / stream next? I don't have any plans to change games. The Ghost Quarter here is kind of punishing for not just going for the Electrodominance last turn, because now they can Ghost Quarter me off of red if they'd like. Because the Wizard means I can only look at the top 4 cards of my deck with this Ghost Quarter. Alright, well, I guess I just do that, huh? So I could Living End here, but I'm not under a huge amount of pressure, and I'm not sure that this is enough. Is this enough? Like, I guess it's 13 power and they can't path me. I think I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna wait a turn and get this desert on board too. They might also like have a collected company here, and then I get to like Living End away their collected company. Because they didn't ghost quarter me aggressively trying to kill my land, so collected company makes a lot of sense. Oh no! Oh no! They're gonna blink my Chalice! Oh no! Don't blink my Chalice! Don't do it! Don't do it! Oh, don't be smart enough to blink my Chalice! If they blink the Chalice, Living End isn't castable. If they blink the Chalice, we have to draw a land to bounce our own Chalice. Oh no. Yikes. So I think it's right to wait there because they're obviously a collected company deck. But it does feel bad to get got in this manner, that's for certain. And we're dead in 2 attacks here. Woof. Mercy. So if I would have fetched around this, maybe we'd have been okay. But we're dead here regardless, right? Just no outs. Teensy bit rough. Alright. Chalice of Void can get out of my deck. You've done me a great harm. Magma Spray sounds good. Tormod's Crypt sounds fine. I'm gonna add Legacy to the title. Let's do that after this. Suspending the second Visions was a mistake when As Foretold was a draw. Now, I don't think that's strictly true, Doom Songs. Like, with the Living End in my hand especially, like, I probably just want a Living End. I think the biggest mistake you could argue that game was that I shouldn't have played the Chalice. If I avoided playing the Chalice, I would have been okay there. And bring in a random Bottle Gnomes, I think. Maybe Remand could stand to come out here too. Like, when I suspended the second Visions, my opponent didn't have any pressure in play. Like, there's no way for me to know that, like, they're gonna lock me out of my Living End and put a bunch of pressure into play. So, like, I think being super results-based and, like, with future knowledge, you can look back and go, oh, you're going to hit your 4 of, and then, oh, you're going to hit this other, they're going to hit this other thing that makes it bad for you to wait too. So, like, if you're super results-based, sure, I agree with you. If I could see the future, it ended up being a mistake. But at the time, with the information I had, I think it was fine. Reshard. You've become my favorite streamer over time due to your always on, you never draft, and your sense of humor. Well, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate you keeping me around. Welcome back. What's the best record we've had so far today? 0-2. No, we went, what was it? Ooh, they're an Aether Vial deck. All right, the Remands probably should have come out. We went 3-2 with Blue-Red Wizards, and we went 1-3 with something. But yeah, we've had a lot of 0-2s. We've been kind of clearing our way through a backlog of bad decks. I'm going to be honest, Doomsong. At this point, I don't remember the exact combination of things that we did that turn. And maybe, I'm not sure if you're not communicating, like, what the situation was. Are you saying I suspended an Ancestral Vision the same turn I drew As Foretold? Is that what you're saying? Because maybe that happened, but I don't remember if that was the case or not. Okay, yeah, so you should be clear on that. So I didn't understand what you were talking about because you didn't say that. Remand looking real bad here. Thalia's exceptionally annoying for our deck because she makes us pay a mana for things cast off of Electrodominance. So in order to Electrodominance out Living End or a 0-cost spell, it costs us 3 mana. Yeah, and she also taxes our cards coming off a suspend. I'm going to hold on to this other AV just because, like, these are going to gas us up. This is a Leonin Arbiter. Seriously. I hate this stupid card so much. Owling Mine was really bad. All right, so we're hitting us to 13. These go to 1. We should get a turn with all these cards. The problem is I'm going to have to pay 2 to get all these cards. What should this Remand have been? This Remand could have been like Izzet Charm, Echoing Truth, which would both be useful here. Alright. Cast my spell. Maybe I should have suspended this turn just so I have less cards in my hand. So, like, I'm going to draw 7 next turn, right? Cast my 4/4. So I've got 2 creatures in my bin at the moment. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they're doing. I think they're more like taxes, hate bears, and like the old Value Town style decks. Is like the Leonin Arbiter and Thalia angle is a little bit different than like what the value decks used to do. Right, well, I'm not going to get to Cryptic Command next turn, but it's good to have for the future, I guess. Hey, what's going on, The Freak? Thanks for the half a year. Ooh, those are nice. Those are nice. So I'm going to play this Canal. Do I want to just move to hand size? I think I want to just move to hand size. You have a Flicker Wisp here. Azusa, Lost but Seeking. Sure. All right, let's kill this while they don't have this up. I think I'm going to kill... I think I'm actually going to exile the Azusa as well here. I guess I can wait till their draw step to do this. I really don't care if I discard this Remand. I was like, I thought I updated that. I didn't update it when we found out they didn't have Kaya's. Ha! I get to scry because we discarded to hand size. That's great. That can stay right there. Deal. I guess I don't really need to put a stop on their draw step, because the first land they're going to get to play regardless because I'm not killing Courser. And then if they play a land off the top of their deck and there's another land underneath it, I'll kill the Azusa in response to the Courser trigger so they don't get to play more lands and draw more cards for free. You're exiling my Striped Riverwinder. All right, well, I'm going to cycle this in response. Oh, I stacked these wrong. Oh, you don't get to stack them. I'm dumb. This triggers the other one. I did get the code for the promos, Baggins. Thank you. My Riverwinders have gone. When we get to Living End here soon, I'm going to get to put these two plus another one into place. It's probably good enough. My opponent doesn't really have much going on at the moment. No exclamation point and no space in between the cheer and the number winding road. I appreciate the support. So just cheer 600 altogether. There you go. Thanks for the biddies. All right, so next turn. So at end step, I can go cycle. And then next turn, I can go cycle, transmute Tolaria West, Electrodominance, Living End, clear the board. Sounds excellent. I think I'm just looking for Living End naturally or more cyclers to like get a bigger hit into play. As Foretold is not a bad hit. All right, there's the Living End. So that means I can hold on to this Tolaria West for now. I could AV myself here, but that doesn't seem very necessary. I'm playing... Actually, do I want to? It only makes me discard one card. Yeah, I think I want to AV here because... No, so putting the As Foretold out is going to encourage them to... This is going to encourage them to play the Knight of Autumn out that we know about in their hand. Which I'm okay with, because then it gets one more creature into play. I would love to leave that on top and draw it. I don't want to attack because I want to kill the board at the end of their turn. That is a Magma Spray in hand. Oh, geez. If this finds Thalia, I won't be able to Living End them. I guess I shouldn't have cycled. For those of you that weren't following, my opponent cast Collected Company and then put 6 cards in the bottom of their deck. Nice Magic card. Alright, so the top card of my opponent's deck right now is a Ghost Quarter, and they have no cards in hand. So I'm going to discard this Architect's Will, and then I'm going to upkeep Electrodominance them. That's a burn spell for later. Oh, I could have done it during cleanup too, because there was a trigger. You don't have to pay Arbiter for Collected Company. Collected Company isn't searching your deck. For people that are talking about Arbiter, Arbiter does not impact Collected Company. Alright, they're going to draw a Coco for the turn and they can cast it. But with Cryptic Command and Magma Spray, the Collected Company shouldn't be enough here. Bye, friends. Oh! Architect's Will trigger. Alright. You can have Sir Teaglesworth for your draw step. Enjoy. When this comes into play, you'll get the top 3 cards of target player's library and rearrange them. Excellent. Excellent. Nom 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 nom. Like I said, I know we lost the first game there, but I think this matchup's got to be pretty good for this deck on average. These remands were bad. I'm going to cut those. Izzet Charm sounds fine. A Miser Ingot Chewer is probably fine. I can see Bottle Gnomes just being okay too. Yeah, I don't want a third bottle. I'm going to put 1 Ingot Chewer in. Randomly kill their Ether Vial. Sometimes the opponent's deck plays like... sometimes the opponent's deck plays Blade Splicer as well. Thoughts on Remand in this deck? Is 2 fine or should it be something else? Yeah, the Remand's kind of cheeky. I'm not really sure what it's accomplishing. Remand in general isn't a very good card in Modern right now. Valve just announced they're going to redesign and relaunch Artifact. Isn't that a little disrespectful? Shouldn't they just leave the dead alone at this point? What about the $200 I already put into Artifact? Do I get that back? This keep might have been a little bit greedy, but anybody who's watched this stream before knows where it was going. I like that it... Did they announce any details about the redesign? I like that it took them 3 months to post an announcement that they're redesigning. I don't know. Maybe Artifact will be sweet if they redesign it. Valve's got, like, infinite money. Oh, they don't have a land. Do they not have a land? They might have just clicked through their first main phase. Valve low-key getting flexed on by Rin. I mean, so it's really funny. I've talked about this on stream before. I remember in the fall of last year, like, having a conversation with Christy about, like, you know, this artifact thing could be the next big card game. I need to make sure I make time to include it in my streaming schedule so I don't miss the boat. And, like, the fact that, like, I'm like, now living in this timeline where, like, Arena is the future of card game esports and, like, they're killing it with a bunch of their decisions. It's like, it's nice. I'm not complaining, but it's just, like, it was not my expectation in the slightest. Arena's definitely thoroughly exceeded expectations for me personally. Arena has made digital Magic good in a way that I just never thought would be possible for digital Magic to be good. Drawing another lands here is good. Gosh, part of me wonders if I was supposed to suspend this Ancestral Vision forever ago. I'm going to start by cycling this because I could hit a Magma Spray to kill this Thalia. What were you expecting? I'm trying to imagine bad Arena, and I can't at the moment. I would like to introduce you to Magic Online. This is Magic Online. If you need help imagining what bad Arena would look like, this is you know, here is a visual aid. I'm thinking about getting into Arena. How many packs should I buy if I expect to get a tier 1 deck, and which pack should I buy? I would recommend buying 150 Guilds packs if you're interested in building a tricolor deck with a lot of shock lands. If you're interested in building, like, red aggro, white aggro, or blue aggro, those decks are much cheaper. But in my experience and talking to other people, about 150 Guilds packs will get you basically any tier 1 deck in terms of wildcards and stuff you open. It's actually not a terrible draw. Oh, we're choked on mana. Gates is fine. The Gates build on my website is okay. We had a good run with it last time we played it. I think I'm going to Ingot Chewer them here. I don't know. I feel like we're just too choked on mana for this to be good at this point. The fact that Teague locks us out of casting Electrodominance is bad. I think we're just dead at this point. If they put a good 3 into play here, we're gonna be just dead. And you know, I should have suspended this a while ago, probably. But yeah, if they put a 3 with any amount of power into play here, yeah, we're very dead. The Gates deck isn't actually 90% tap lands, TDM. In fact, the Gates deck usually plays 27 lands with 10 untapped lands. So it's about 60% tap lands, but also plays more lands on average. So it doesn't have that many more dedicated tap lands than anything else. The latest configuration of Gates that I updated on my website includes Shivanfire in the main deck and Kroll Harpooner in the sideboard. And actually, mono blue tempo feels like it's fallen off a little bit since Gruul aggro's gotten popular. And the Gates deck dumpsters Gruul aggro. Like, it's not close. Land pass, I think. Oh. Great. Not surprised that they took the Chalice. They probably don't care about this Remand a whole heck of a lot. And I'm just going to go ahead and cycle the Remand here. They probably have another black source, but I kind of just want to churn through my deck a little bit. Especially if it, like, forces them to discard this creature. It's, like, not that big of a deal. Happy weekend, Twin. It is Friday night now, isn't it? It's always 5 o'clock somewhere, right? This is probably a matchup where these AVs are really absurd. It's going to take a hot second for this AV to come off suspend here, but the black-green deck doesn't put that much pressure into play, so hopefully we're going to have 4 turns from now. Five, 6 is a big boy, though. Yeah, I could see Izzet Charm being better than the Remand. They can also just be other playable spells too. Living End's an okay draw because it means if I rip an Electrodominance or an As Foretold, I get to kill their Goyf and floop 2 creatures into play. Although, in a matchup like this where my opponent's going to tend to be removal heavy, only putting 2 creatures into play likely doesn't ensure that I win the game. Alright, so we've got 8 good draws here, and we've got a few things that redraw us into those draws. At least my opponent's playing green-black and not Jund, which means I guess I get 2 draw steps because sans Collective Brutality, they're not going to be, like, burning me out. I'm going to intentionally not play the Scalding Tarn because if I fetch with the Tarn, Collective Brutality is then lethal, so ideally I'd prefer not to do that. Yeah, hardcasting things can be good in this matchup for sure. Spells in general, probably good in this matchup. Unfortunate that this AV is going to be 1 turn short. Alright, it's a redraw. 8 outs. I really didn't like the constructed format that they were playing at PAX. It didn't seem like it gave the people playing a lot of agency over the outcome of their games. Felt like there were a lot of really swingy results.
I don't like this one.
I don't like this one. I love you. Yeah. Everything else outside of the format at PAX seemed really awesome, though. I enjoyed a lot of the new people that they had on the coverage team. Some of the old, like, David Williams was doing coverage for the first time. I think he'd done GP coverage back in the day a couple of times. He was excellent. Day 9 and Kibler were great. Alias was wonderful. This is an Echoing Truth matchup. I feel like I don't mind all the cards I have in front of me, though. I'm going to click Submit. I think if we draw a couple more spells there, we probably end up being okay. Day 9 slipped up on camera. What does that mean? Did he say a swear word or something? Yeah, they didn't announce... They didn't announce the formats of the other arena things for the rest of the year, so hopefully at least one of them involves traditional best of 3 with sideboards. Would be ideal. So this hand doesn't do a whole lot, but one of my mantras of playing against these decks full of Inquisition and Thoughtseize is that you really just don't want to mulligan that much because these decks are going to pick apart your hand. So ideally you just want the most cards possible in your hand to work with. Yeah, mine too, TDM. Their most common way in the opponent's deck to kill As Foretold is going to be Assassin's Trophy. So if they want to just trophy this right away and ramp me, I'm kind of okay with that. And I have a second one. If they don't kill this first one right away, I'm probably going to wait to play the second one because usually they have 2 copies of Maelstrom Pulse. I mean, to be fair, and I know this is a really low bar to set, I do think Duo Standard is lower variance and more interesting than Best of One, to me personally at least. And that's kind of a low bar, I know, to hop across, but I'm going to hide both of those so that way if they play another discard spell, they don't get to do anything. Because let's just discard this. Yeah, the worst part of the format for me watching was seeing the Esper control mirrors be entirely decided by who drew less cast downs, basically. That was the tough part for me. All right, trophy shuffling my deck is a reason to keep one of those As Foretolds. Do I just cast this? Am I casting a 6/4? I think I'm casting a 6/4. All right, let's go. Let's go. Give him the business, Desert Cerodon. Let's get him. You're a real beastly. Wow, rude Liliana. Way to come at me. Are we gonna cast this Faerie Macabre off the As Foretold? I think we're gonna cast the Faerie Macabre off the As Foretold. I'm gonna fireball this Electrodominance here in a second. Yeah, it would be awesome if we could have an interactive overlay. It would make getting into Modern for people who just want to see more formats much, much easier. So, I'm gonna cast this on the Liliana. I waited for them to plus the Liliana, though, because I wanted them to have to discard a card out of their hand here. So I do want to take this off the table just in case they have a removal spell for this, but this gets a card out of their hand by waiting with this sequencing. All right. I think at this point, I'm supposed to cycle because I want to draw like an AV or a Living End or stuff like that. I think casting that 4/4 is not good enough on this current board. All right, is casting Cerodon good enough on this board? I'm not sure that it is. I'm going to at least cycle this Architect's Will. Cryptic Command. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to attack for 2 with this. I'm going to cycle this as well. Pass the turn. I think this Cryptic Command's on counter draw or bounce draw mode. Yeah, I need to draw really badly, TDM. My hand has nothing going on. I need to find a living end so I can, like, floop all my stuff into play. Oh, this is what hell is. Oh no. I'd almost forgotten it was that silly. I like digging for a surgical extraction here. Trying to think why we'd stop in my draw step. Would like to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. Let's cast this other one. Why not shock there? Because I want to win the game. Because I want to find the living end and win the game. Because living end gets rid of this and it wins the game. Okay. Alright, sure. Modern staple Drakehaven, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Two flyers. Wind Drakes are us. We're through 32 cards in our deck with only 1 copy of Living End and only 1 Tolaria West. Hey, Spawn Broker, well, welcome. I'm running a little bit late tonight. That's a scavenging ooze. Are we dead? It feels like we're dead. So they can exile 2 of my things. I have a bunch of them. I think I'm supposed to cycle this. And I need to find Living End this turn, I think. Are we dead? I think I'm dead. Yeah, we're just gonna eat my whole graveyard. Unlike the last couple of decks we played that O2'd, I feel like I'm getting to make some interesting decisions with this deck, and the games are kind of close. So I'm gonna play one more, even though we haven't won a match yet. I don't feel like I hate myself after losing those 2 matches. I feel like they were close and I had choices to make. So let's try at least one more here before we move on to some legacy for the evening. It did win a game, that's true. The spreadsheet simulator does like lots of choices. Lots of buttons mean the spreadsheet is better, right? I'm going to read this really quick. When we launched Artifact, we expected it would be the beginning of a long journey and it would lay the foundation for years to come. Our plan was to immediately dive into our normal strategy of shipping a series of updates driven by the dialogue community members we're having with us, with each other and us. Obviously, things didn't go how we hoped. Artifact represents the largest discrepancy between our expectations for how one of our games would be received and the actual outcome. We don't think that the players misunderstand our game or that they're playing it wrong. Artifact now represents an opportunity for us to improve our craft and use that knowledge to build better games. Since launch, we've been looking carefully at how players interact with the game as well as gathering feedback, and it's been clear that there are deep-rooted issues with the game that our original update of releasing new features and cards be insufficient to address. Instead, we believe the correct course is to take larger steps, re-examine the situation. What does that mean? Moving forward, we'll be heads down, focusing on addressing these large issues instead of shipping updates. I'm glad they finally said something. Oh no, did I get it? Did I get it? I got it. All right, sweet. I'm glad they finally said something. The 3 months with that post probably should have gone up like 2 months ago. Rather than just being silent. Thanks for the bits, Brian. In it for the long haul. What killed Artifact? Artifact killed Artifact. The best way I could describe Artifact was that, like, after I tried really hard to, like, get into the game and figure it out and stuff, and, like, I found myself, like, getting, like, 2 or 3 matches in, I was just like, I'm kind of bored. Like, it just, like, it felt like I was taking a math test and not playing a game, and, like, as someone who, like, has a math degree because I like doing math, it wasn't, like, the fun kind of math test, basically. Like, it seemed like it was pretty skill intensive, and there was a lot of player agency in a lot of places. I wonder how true this was posted, and this is good chance this could just be nonsense, but it sounds pretty reasonable after that post. This was a post someone had posted on Reddit. Valve Insider, the game's going free to play, and everyone's gonna have all the cards. People who purchase cards will gain special cosmetic versions of the cards they own. That would be an interesting model, unless they're going to redesign some of the core concepts, but that kind of sounds like a full overhaul, like this post implies. I don't know, we'll see. I'll probably play it again when they redesign it, like I try most new card games. At least give them a taste. It would be a great business model. Everybody has everything. There's no pay to win nonsense. Whatever happened to Hex? Hex ran out of money. It's kind of funny. One of the things I often think about is, like, how successful Artifact could have been, or Valve's card game could have been, if they would have just, like, bought Hex and built it a better client. Because the actual gameplay in Hex was great. If Valve just, like, bought Hex and redid the client so it was super sleek and smooth. So, in Magic Online, when you see cards from the opponent's hand, there's no, like, hand zone here like on Arena, right? So there's this separate revealed cards thing that you can pop in and out that's completely uncorrelated to the opponent's hand, and you have to, like, manually X things out as they play them. One game that I haven't talked about a ton recently on stream, but is one that I enjoy. If you're looking for other games, other card games, especially mobile card games, there's the Warhammer trading card game is really good. I've been playing that on my tablet. They also have a Steam version for the PC. That is the only recent digital card game that I've played. It also has a paper component too, which is really sweet. The gameplay on it's very unique though, in a good way. Digivampire, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. No, it's nothing to do with 40K. Yeah, so the Warhammer game is, so like Eternal is basically like Magic Light or Fisher Price Magic, like I like to refer to it as. The Warhammer game is like a unique own game. As far as gameplay is concerned. Yeah, Eternal is made by the company that employs Patrick Sullivan, Luis Scott Vargas, and a few others, Corey Burkhart. You ever tried Infinity Wars? No, I never touched that one. Shadowverse was a little bit too Force of Willy, anime, borderline. This artwork is kind of awkward for me to try. Yeah, too anime boobies for me to be like, this is like, eh. Even if this game is good, the artwork's like awkward enough that it's just like, I don't really want to be seen or affiliated with this. You ever played Yu-Gi-Oh? I've not, actually. Nope, it still has Flood and Screw the Freak. I think we're probably dead here. I guess the fact that I don't have a red source really sucks. They ripped through both of our first two As Foretold, so like, even if I draw a Living End, I can't cast it. That sounds miserable, Chalky. Yeah, I played a little bit of, God, what was that game? What was that game called? It was, gosh, I'm blanking on its name. Nova something or other that I played that was a real-time TCG. I don't want a dexterity element to my TCGs. I'm old and slow. If I want to feel bad about my dexterity ability, I'll go play Overwatch. Nova Blitz, that was it, yep. Basically, every card game is designed by Magic players because Magic is like the grandfather of TCGs. Yeah, I agree with that, Beetle. And we're dead. Alright, I think I'm actually off this deck. Okay, I think I'm off it. 0-2 and down a game heading into the third match. I don't know that if I have anything super constructive or specific about this one. And that's not true. Let's talk about what I think this deck's biggest issue is, and visually is going to be the easiest to show if Magic Online could load. I want you to look at this deck, and I want you to think about the curve of this deck. I want you to visualize the curve of this deck. All right, now let's look at something like Green-Black Elves. Do you see the difference? Do you see where the mana curve is at? And this deck has accelerants. Like, this deck just feels like it's kind of slow and clunky. And, like, if it can't cast Living End, it just doesn't do anything in terms of interacting with the opponent. And that's just not good enough, I feel like. There's enough decks that race you and have a little bit of disruption that it doesn't feel like that's a consistent enough game plan. So, Let's wrap the evening up with some Legacy. Spanish Inquisition is fun, even when we die. And, Mono Blue Wizards, You ever played Slay the Spire? I've not. I was never super into single-player games. The last single-player game I played was Skyrim. MTGO traders didn't have any copies of Kaya in stock, so I couldn't get cards for it. Yeah. My wife and I go to Gen Con every year. There's an entire room in my house that's filled with board games. This is a Twitter link to some of my favorites. Not Monopoly. You didn't need that quantifier for me, I promise. Just a moment while I swap around some cards here with MTGO traders and such. Thanks everyone for hanging out. This is a Legacy Rube Goldberg machine. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen this deck before, you're going to want to hang out for it. It is a good time.